Behavior is currently making a lot of pushes to improve and prepare Dead by Daylight for a huge showing in the looming shadow of the upcoming Five Nights at Freddy's chapter. And understandably so, this is going to be one of the biggest opportunities for player growth that Dead by Daylight has had since the addition of our favorite silly boy in his works. I believe. There it is. There's my fucking bathtub. This is my circus. These are my monkeys. Now I just need the toaster. Killer offering? That's our toaster! It's Mikey. Yes. One of the proposed changes, and one that I think definitely needs to be given a second thought, is going to be coming to map offerings. The change? Map offerings only have a single, non-stackable 20% chance to send you to a given map instead of the potential 100% a single uncontested offering can do before. You may be wondering,
In theory, don't you hate playing against cheap, uninteractive, gimmicky, and map-dependent playstyles like Mirror Myers, Ghostface, Trapper, Sabo Squads, Boilover gimmicks, and balanced landing saves from isolated lofts? This change makes those sorts of things way harder by removing their ability to guarantee a map. It should be great!
Do you catch my feeling? Is this a relatable struggle? I feel like this is a relatable struggle. Like, I just think I'd get bored. Because, like, this is the game. I mean, I guess easy out, right? Hopefully. Why did I just walk into that, man? I can't actually free myself. Actually, wait, hold on. Thanks. There's nothing here. Alright, quit it! You would be right about one of those things. Unfortunately, this is a weak Band-Aid fix. The killer playstyles are dead, sure. Say goodbye to Mirror Myers' favorite little puzzle pieces and broken glasses. Praise be to the entity, and sorry, but not sorry to any killers who made me stare at Jen for 15 minutes because you thought you were going to make me jolt my chair slightly or something. I've already seen a blue-collar gent limply waddle into my gen room without a terror radius enough times to consider filing a restraining order. You are annoying, not scary. Sorry. Play something effective. The Survivor playstyles? They'll still be alive and well. Here's why this change is so one-sided. The Survivor team... It still gets 4 offerings. There's 4 of them. There's 4 guys on the screen that you have to face. It's a 1v4. So, they always will. 20 times 4 is 80. It's simple math. So, these survivors may not be able to guarantee a given map because the offerings are non-stackable. However, they don't need to. With 4 different offerings, the survivors can create a perfectly tuned map rotation for whatever they want to do. Maps like Hal, D&D Borgo, Batum, Swamp, Gideon, Dead Dog, and Haddonfield provide a great opportunity to run into unhookable corners and abuse miserable perks like Boilover, Breakout, Boon Exponential, Flip Flop, Soul Guard, Made for This, and For the People / Buckle Up in order to force the killer to drop you and try to slug your team as fast as humanly possible in order to regain their lost dignity. There's also something to mention about Head-On with certain predictable main buildings like Dead Dog. Any killer main will tell you that all of the things I just mentioned are usually the recipe for some of the most downright infuriating and awful matches of Dead by Daylight you can possibly have. These things will work to fine effect most of the time anyway, but they're made nearly uncounterable by the right map. The changes do absolutely nothing to address this. What the changes also won't address is the far more productive uses of map offerings as they relate to killer map dependency. It's no secret I might be biased slightly towards a favorable state for certain killers. Okay, so we can hit you there. That resets your pros. Get you like this. Hi, Laura. Come here. You wanna loot this tile with me? Yeah! Thank you so much! I just missed him. There we go. Yep. Damn, yeah! Hey now. Come here. Come here, honey. Let me touch you. Yeah? Was that the vault you wanted? I'm sorry. This means I've got some hot takes on verticality in this game that maybe not a lot of people share. I.e., I hate it. Period. Why the hell are the hallways on Midwich slightly higher than the ground in the courtyard? Why does RPD have 3 separate Z levels to put crows on? Why does HAL have an entire isolated, cramped loft away from the rest of the game? Why is it so unreasonably impossible to get anywhere that you need to on Midwich? Why the hell does Gideon have a palleted hole or a stairway every 2 inches? Why do all of those maps have exclusively garbage walls with no peak spots? And why the HE double hockey sticks is swamp? Swamp. Ugh, gross, stinky. Get it out of here. Alright, a lot of hate there. Point being, I do not want to be on these maps. Ever. Offerings are your only escape at the moment. I personally love to put a key or a bone on my artist if I'm having a particularly bad night, just so I know I won't get screwed by map selection and can have a nicer, even game where I won't be running like a chicken with my head cut off just to see survivors and be in position. That's my escape from you rats bringing me a puzzle piece, glasses, or a letter every other match. Other very interesting and unfortunately map-dependent killers like Dredge and Singularity also tend to want the right conditions in order to have an easy time utilizing their power. This selection wouldn't really be complete if I didn't drop the mask a bit to be charitable to our D-tier killer friends too. Map offerings are in fact important for playstyles like Trapper, Ghostface, or Mirror Myers as well. And without them, I think each killer would see a lot less play and probably be far less functional.
Okay, great. Thanks, Siri. I kinda don't trust this change now. Do you have literally any alternative?
Why, thank you, fellow researcher! I'm glad you asked! Fix your maps. Fix your maps. Don't ignore the problem. Don't make them more infrequent. Just make them fun. Overhaul every indoor and a few more besides. Break shit, make the walls a little easier to track killers and survivors through in places like Leary's so that chases there feel less random. The Tricksters and Singus will thank you. Make Gideon and Midwich mostly one elevation, remove the extra elevations from RPD, give killers and survivors less clutter to stub on where these maps are cramped. A lot of them need way more room to run, spot one another, and breathe. Remove the basements and pointless upstairs from cramped Haddonfield and Batham houses. Put a hook in the furnace room for the entity's sake. Get rid of the abusable isolated lofts in maps like HAL or Erie. This is all a lot of work, but I nigh guarantee it'll leave the game in an infinitely better state than it does just pushing the problem onto RNG and kicking the can down the avenue. These map QOL problems are going to be present even after people can't make a map selection guaranteed, and there's just less to be done about these maps when they come up now. Band-Aid fixes like this are going to be especially harmful when it comes to the release of a DLC as anticipated as the FNAF collab. Record numbers of players are going to be exposed to these maps for the first time, facing people who've been familiar with their shortcomings for eons now. The strategies that utilize them are gimmicky, frustrating, and in many cases inaccessible to newcomers due to Dead by Daylight's frustrating monetization scheme and progression system. Killers you can't see coming, chase-ending traps in frustratingly small corridors, and survivors that literally cannot be hooked no matter how hard you try. I'm here forever, but not a lot of these newcomers will be if what feels like the more common part of the game map roster is left to rot in its current state during one of the biggest player floods this game will ever experience. Just because you can't select a map anymore doesn't mean the map is suddenly fine now. Long story short, reconsider taking the easy way out and put in the damn legwork to make this game as good as I know it can be. Please, behavior. Also, what the fuck is duty of care? Why are you buffing body blocks, you animal?